All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll run it here. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Barrett now on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Back to throw Barrett. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On 1st down, they go option to the right. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now a first carry for Daniel Pumphrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14. Off the play fake, Barrett. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, Jackson is going to let this one go deep. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 79 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Now Tucker to add the PAT. Tucker. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback, and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I got a big grin on my face, too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treat it as such.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. And they'll go on the ground. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a line.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Here's Jackson to throw again. Buying time to his left. He's got room to... And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. They go play action with Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Andrews. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He has already cracked the century mark in receiving in this opening quarter. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Dancing to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They pitch it out to Cook. And some space here. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. To throw on 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got it to Hearns. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A toss to Cook. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jackson under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Jordan Hicks coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jackson from the shotgun. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Rodgers going to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot. And now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense. After the interception, here's Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Ravens will extend their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football, but I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. To throw is Rodgers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. On second down, Cook. And he stopped immediately there. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun on third down, Jackson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
Now Jackson on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Eagles. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, we'll see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in a mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. And complete to Zach Ertz. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. As they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing is Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
Blue 58! Check 50, check 50. Mike 96, Mike 96!
Rodgers to throw once more. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Hey, check 26.
Throwing again. Rodgers. And the Eagles are in for 6.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they broke it up.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee you he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Ravens will extend their lead. And he's able to put it through. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
And he'll hit Jeffrey, complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Eagles on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
18. Zoom.
shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson, there on the coverage. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Jackson on second down. And this is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Now Brown. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
On play action, now Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Anthony Averett picks it. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They run it again with Cook, and he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Jackson. Forced out to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you evolved. You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
Let's go. Hey, 96 is coming. Go fight 96. Let him know. That's fine, yeah. Shift.
A handoff to start out the drive. It's Pumphrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Ertz has it left side. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, check 26. Let's go, come on.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. He just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
4 down, check, 4 down. Run right! Switch. Back. Mike 96. 319.
Now it's Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 11. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The Ravens on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Gone!
Jackson. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Here's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Watch it now, Barney!
They go play action now. Jackson. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they could do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
Let's get nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 23. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Tucker now to add the point after. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
All right.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. Aguilar has it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Here's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And to the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Cook on the toss left. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Ravens on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. To throw is Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Michael Brocker's in on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Jackson's going to throw it under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Here's Jackson to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Rodgers now to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Rodgers going to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
319. Yeah, Liz. Mike 96. Yeah, Liz. 319.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is caught. And they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Elliott now to kick this one away. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Again, it's Cook. Cook able to escape. And he's got some space here. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Gun! Hey, 4 down.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Tucker now for the extra point. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. One final try now for Rodgers. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Ravens, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.